Another thing which impacts breathing quite a bit is simply excessive eating. So eating too much always makes us breathe too much. And it's very difficult actually for most people, for me definitely, to eat only as much as my body needs. Because my body needs very little food, but my mind loves to eat a lot, right? So most actually modern people overeat on daily basis. And that has a negative impact on breathing. So, try to play with how much food you really need. First of all, it is recommended to eat only when you are hungry. We often eat on time, just because it's time to have dinner or breakfast without having an active feeling of being hungry. So if you don't feel hungry, don't eat, because in this case, this meal will work against your health, right? So the first thing is to start eating when you're hungry. But it's not that easy actually to determine whether you're hungry or not. And Dr. Buteyko kind of created a very simple little test for it. He said, if you are thinking or about, if you're thinking about having a meal, if you're about to have a meal, just imagine that you have a bowl of plain rice in front of you, or you have a piece of bread without anything. Are you going to be, excited, enthusiastic about eating this food? Or you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to pass on this bowl of rice and I'll wait a little bit, and I much rather have spaghetti with meatballs and some kind of a cream sauce with garlic. If you're thinking this way, then you're not really hungry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I check this, I'm almost never hungry, but I eat anyway. I'm trying to work on myself, of course.
Yeah, that's a difficult point for a lot of people. And when I first heard about that test, it definitely showed me that I was eating many times out of sometimes boredom. I just didn't know what else to do, so eating usually brings me some pleasure. So I would just look for things to eat, and also um, during times in my life where I wasn't enjoying what I was doing on a daily basis, where I was having to do a lot of things that I just didn't want to do, I would use eating as a way to just kind of procrastinate and avoid doing those things. So part of the thing that's helped me to stop eating as much excessively is start to think about what I actually enjoy doing in my life and doing that more often. Like, I also play music, so but for a long time, I kind of lost touch with that. And now I've started to incorporate it more into my daily life, because I find that when I play music, I'm not bored, I'm not thinking about eating, and I could play for hours without eating, which is a much more healthy way to live. Whereas before, I would just kind of snack all day out of boredom.
Mm-hmm. And I notice when I exercise during the day, physical exercises, I actually eat much less because it generates carbon dioxide in my body and I have more energy, not less energy, and I need less food. So, it's interesting to start making your own observations about breathing and food and find out how it works for you. Another test which Dr. Buteyko suggested was that, try to determine how much food is enough for you. And he would say that imagine a situation when you are eating your dinner and in the middle of it, a phone rings. You pick up the phone and it's your friend, you know, and you start talking to him and you spend like 15 or 20 minutes talking to this person. And then finally you hang up and you could go back to your dinner, but you don't want to continue your dinner anymore because you feel full, right? So it takes a little while, usually 10 or 15 minutes, to develop this sensation of being completely full. But usually we don't give it any time and we just keep eating and eating and eating. And as a result of it, we consume like twice, 3 times more than we really need. So stopping in the middle of the meal and just waiting a little bit and trying to determine whether it's enough or not is a very good thing.